NFL Week 7 recap, the turning point. The league's mid-season picture sharpens as contenders rise, pretenders crumble, and legends remind the world that they're far from done. Thursday Night Football, Steelers 16, Bengals 13. The AFC North gauntlet continued under the primetime lights. The Steelers extended their perfect start to 6-0, surviving a scrappy but self-destructive Bengals squad that handed the ball away 4 times. Aaron Rodgers didn't light up the scoreboard, 124 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT, but his composure in clutch moments kept Pittsburgh alive. Jaylen Warren powered through with 86 rushing yards, while Calvin Austin III's 42-yard touchdown grab gave the Steelers their edge. For Cincinnati, Joe Flacco's 290 yards were overshadowed by his 4 interceptions, one of which sealed the game late. T. Higgins was his lone spotlight, with 107 yards on 8 catches, but it wasn't enough. Steelers' defense continues to be terrifying, opportunistic, punishing, and unrelenting. Sunday morning game, Jaguars 17, Rams 16. The Jaguars escaped Los Angeles with a nail-biting win thanks to a late defensive stand. Trevor Lawrence threw for just 160 yards and 1 TD, but Travis Etienne Jr.'s 64 rushing yards kept the chains moving. Rookie receiver Trevor Hunter hauled in a beautiful 51-yard TD, giving Jacksonville just enough cushion. The Rams saw another heartbreak as Matthew Stafford, 298 yards, 1 TD, couldn't quite find a final drive spark. Puka Nacua torched the Jags for 124 yards and a touchdown, but a missed field goal in the final minute doomed LA. Sunday noon games, Dolphins 33, Browns 10. Miami snapped their skid with style. Tua Tagovailoa looked sharp again, 320 yards, 2 TDs, spreading the ball around with clinical precision. Jalen Waddle danced through Cleveland's secondary with 117 yards and a score, while Achane continued his electric rookie campaign. 53 yards, 1 TD. Cleveland's offense was lifeless. Gabriel threw for 156 yards and a late TD, but the Browns were overwhelmed. The Dolphins' defense forced multiple 3-and-outs, holding the Browns under 50 rushing yards. Jets 16, Panthers 13. It wasn't pretty, but Justin Fields did just enough to help the Jets squeak past Carolina. Fields threw for 175 yards and a TD, connecting often with Garrett Wilson, 77 yards. Breece Hall punched in a short score, continuing his strong season. Carolina's Bryce Young threw 2 costly interceptions, nullifying Chuba Hubbard's 66 rushing yards and Legette's 70 receiving yards. Another frustrating day for the Panthers, who fall to 3-4. Patriots 62, Titans 7. The ageless wonder refuses to fade. Tom Brady, 48 years old, dropped a nuclear stat line, 393 passing yards and 5 touchdowns in one of the most lopsided blowouts of the season. The Patriots humiliated Tennessee, scoring on nearly every drive. Antonio Gibson ran wild with 141 yards and 2 TDs, while Brady's old friends Julian Edelman, 150 yards and 2 TDs, and Rob Gronkowski, 67 yards and 1 TD, turned back the clock. Stephon Diggs also added 109 yards and 2 scores, giving New England the most balanced offensive showcase of the year. Tennessee's lone highlight came from Tony Pollard, who managed 124 total yards and a TD, but Colin Ward's interception and a hapless defense sealed their fate. Saints 46, Bears 22. The Saints snapped back to life behind Spencer Rattler, who threw for 217 yards and 2 TDs, leading a relentless offensive onslaught. Alvin Kamara added 80 yards and a score, while Rashid Shaheed made explosive plays downfield, 79 yards and 1 TD. Chicago's Caleb Williams had flashes, 255 yards, 1 TD, but New Orleans' defense forced 2 turnovers and turned both into points. Colston Loveland's 95 yards were a silver lining for Chicago in another long day. Vikings 26, Eagles 22. The Eagles' midseason skid continued as Jalen Hurts tossed 3 interceptions, while rookie J.J. McCarthy led Minnesota to a gritty upset win. Jefferson and Mason were the keys. Jefferson made 6 grabs for 61 yards, and Mason added 84 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Minnesota's defense bent but didn't break, stuffing Hurts on a late 4th down to seal it. Chiefs 21, Raiders 20. A Raiders missed extra point may haunt them all season. Patrick Mahomes threw for 221 yards and 1 TD, while Isaiah Pacheco managed just 33 rushing yards. Kansas City survived a late surge by Geno Smith's Raiders, who saw A.J. Genty rush for 132 yards and a touchdown, but failed to finish drives. Juju Smith-Schuster, 59 yards, was steady, and Kansas City's defense held strong in the red zone. The Chiefs advanced to 5-2, while Vegas drops to 4-3 in a cruel 1-point loss. Sunday 3 p.m. games. Broncos 29, Giants 22. Denver found their rhythm again as Bo Nix played his best game yet. 246 yards, 2 TDs, and just 1 pick. His chemistry with Torrey Franklin, 104 yards, 2 TDs, was electric. The Giants' Jackson Dart threw for 276 yards but couldn't convert red zone trips. Tracy Jr.'s 66 yards and a score kept them close, yet Denver's defense held when it mattered. Colts 29, Chargers 22. Another win for the surging Colts, now 5-2, behind a breakout performance from Daniel Jones. 281 yards, 4 TDs, and Michael Pittman Jr. was unstoppable, hauling in 6 catches for 100 yards and 2 TDs, while Jonathan Taylor kept the offense balanced with 100 rushing yards. Herbert, 230 yards, 1 TD, had moments, but Quentin Johnston's 109 yards couldn't save a flat Chargers defense. Packers, 48, Cardinals, 28. Jordan Love exploded for a career-high 5 TDs as Green Bay shredded Arizona's defense. Dontavion Wicks, 118 yards, 2 TDs, and Josh Jacobs, 97 yards, 1 TD, powered an offense that finally clicked. Kyler Murray managed 189 yards, 1 TD, but threw 2 interceptions. Amari DeMerica was Arizona's lone spark, bizarrely scoring 3 rushing touchdowns, but the Cards' defense had no answers. Cowboys 21, Commanders 17. Dallas stays perfect at 7-0, continuing to grind out wins behind Dak Prescott's 319 yards and 2 TDs. George Pickens was the hero again with 111 yards and a touchdown, while Javonte Williams added a crucial rushing score. Jaden Daniels' 166 yards, 2 TDs kept Washington competitive, but his late interception sealed their fate. Sunday Night Football, 49ers 23, Falcons 17. San Francisco clawed their way back to 500. Brock Purdy was efficient, 183 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception, and Christian McCaffrey dominated again, 91 yards and 1 TD. Atlanta's Bijan Robinson was a workhorse, 104 yards in a score, but Michael Penix Jr. threw 4 interceptions, 3 in the second half, killing Atlanta's comeback hopes. Kyle Pitts Sr. led the Falcons with 83 yards, but it wasn't enough. Monday Night Football, Buccaneers 16, Lions 10. A defensive slugfest that Tampa eked out thanks to Baker Mayfield's 2 TDs and Byron Irving's 114 rushing yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown's 73 yards kept Detroit alive, but Jared Goff couldn't finish drives. Tampa's secondary clamped down late, and the Bucs quietly climbed to 4-3. Texans 42, Seattle 24. The Texans made a statement. Rookie QB C.J. Stroud threw 4 TDs, dissecting Seattle's defense like a veteran. Nick Chubb bulldozed his way to 108 rushing yards, while T. Higgins, 82 yards and 1 TD, and Nico Collins, 65 yards and 1 TD, showcased Houston's growing arsenal. Seattle's Sam Darnold threw for 209 yards, 1 TD, 2 picks, and while Kenneth Walker III ran for 118 yards, it wasn't enough to slow Houston's offensive surge. Standings after Week 7. AFC North: Steelers 6-0, Ravens 5-1, Bengals 2-5, Browns 1-6. AFC South: Colts 5-2, Jaguars 4-3, Texans 3-3, Titans 2-5. AFC East: Bills 5-1, Patriots 5-2, Jets 4-3, Dolphins 3-4. AFC West: Chiefs 5-2, Raiders 4-3, Broncos 3-4, Chargers 1-6. NFC North: Vikings 3-3, Packers 3-3, Lions 3-4, Bears 1-5. NFC South: Buccaneers 4-3, Saints 4-3, Panthers 3-4, Falcons 2-4. NFC East: Cowboys 7-0, Giants 4-3, Commanders 4-3, Eagles 3-4. NFC West: 49ers 3-4, Seahawks 3-4, Rams 2-5, Cardinals 1-5.